And oh, this is, I should probably change this. Creating a PR for next issue. Inspecting. Let's do just inspecting next issues. Nix issues. Done. Will this work? Just inspecting next issues. Yeah. Okay. So hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Like this, like this. Should get more sound. Yeah. Like this is, now it's in the red. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Test, test, like this. Okay. So yeah, there's been an update. So yesterday we were doing what was I doing yesterday? Your profile. Do I go to your profile? Yeah, I open up a pull request. Improve continuation prompt. And we're still waiting, I guess. Awaiting requested review from Edolstra. And someone put a thumbs up. I wonder why is the reviewer Dolstra? I mean, yes, but I've seen that. Wait a second, let's go again to issues. So let's say Nix language, inconsistent handling of numbers. Builds are broken. Inconsistent handling of numbers. After noticing this, oh, this is also the problem where I put a comment. So that was the second thing that we looked, I think, also yesterday. So docs, list tokenization has a precedence of 1.5. I chatted a bit with ChatGPT about this. And ChatGPT kind of suggested, and it was really not hard, to adjust the parser to allow this case. Now I'm still forgot, actually. I can't explain this, but there is something about this, you know. When you have this minus and it won't work or something like that, so you have to put this in parentheses, something like that. But I want to go through chat again, and because I think that this issue should be fixed in the language someone writes. Unnate minus is handled weirdly. The issue shows up during function application too. So needs to be written as built-in. I don't know. Built-in is. I wonder if there are all of these problems that would be fixed with adjusting the parser. That's what I want to check about today. And oh, interesting. So he explained here, Nix language inconsistent handling of numbers. Bug. After noticing 12848, I started to investigate other strange corner cases of the language, Nix language related to numbers. This issue lists several corner cases which should be either documented or fixed. Interesting. Who's non-git? Is he a member? Non-git achievements. Pull shark. I don't know. Handling of 0.0. What is this? 1 is parsed as 1.0. Here I'm adding the point to indicate a Nix float, while 0 isn't parsed. Nix eval expression error, syntax error, unexpected end of file. Oh, interesting. Expected behavior 0 point should be parsed as 0.0. why this should be parsed as 0.0? I don't get it. Because if you write 0 dot, I don't know what's 0 dot. 2, 1 through 0.0 throws an error instead of returning inf. While calling the div built-in. Oh, yeah, division by 0. Error division by 0. Computing 0 dot divided by 0 dot. Oh gosh. Through x throws an error. If x is inf or x is inf, inf can be generated. Minus 0.0 is parsed as 0.0. This is not nice because minus 0.0 can be generated easily. NixEval minus 0. Subnormal numbers. Parsing subnormal numbers throws an error. Wow, what is... These are like really weird corner cases. I never... NixEval expression 1.0e minus 310. Invalid float. Which behavior is proper? Shall subnormal numbers be parsed? What are subnormal numbers? Flush to 0, throw an error. Built-in seal and built-in floor are broken. Yeah, this makes no sense. Metadata. Wow. So maybe I'm not sure what to do now, you know, Ming builds. Let's see, Ming builds are broken. eDolstra. Yeah, I wanted to check something with eDolstra. If we go to pull requests, let's say, look at this. Reviewers, eDolstra and Roberth. Okay, there's Roberth. Let's go check this. CMake exists. eDolstra. Revert decrease connect timeout to 5 seconds. Roberth. Ericsson. Okay, that's the Nix team, I guess. So I was wondering because I saw eDolstra. How to check? Is there a way to check who is the... Is there a way to check who is the most, what do you, how do you call it? Well, in the Nix repo, when I look at the PRs, I see that eDolstra is being asked to review, and his name comes often. I wondered from the Nix team how many times is or eDolstra requested to review and why is so. This kind of this may come weird, but eDolstra is the creator of Nix, so it's very common to see his name pop up in reviews, issues, and discussions. Meaning his final say on architectural and fundamental change to Nix. So how to check how often he's requested for review? You can use GitHub's GraphQL API. Oh, here's a simple starting point using the GitHub CLI. This lists open PRs where eDolstra is explicitly requested. You kidding me? This is, I can use this? So if I write this, the program GH is not in your path. Maybe let's just add it. Let's add it here, actually. Where is it? I always do this. What happened? Funny. Okay, so sudo NixOS, no, not upgrade. I'm gonna just do switch. So when you do NixOS rebuild switch, it will update the configuration, right? With the GH program I added. If I pressed upgrade also, it would also upgrade every package. Not that I don't do that, but I don't want to do it now. I just want to add this quickly, not upgrade everything. Yeah, I should get back to my lambda calculus also. So now it's downloading GH. Really? System units, dbus. Okay. So what am I looking at? Oh yeah. Repo NixOS search. To get started with GitHub CLI, please run gh auth login. Alternatively, populate the gh token environment filled with a GitHub. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I've got this. Interactive login. Choose GitHub, select, open a browser, enter one-time code to authorize. Git auth login. Can I do like git auth login? Where do you use GitHub? Yeah. SSH. Upload your SSH publicly to your GitHub account. Skip. How would you like to author on a GitHub login with a web browser? Login with the browser? I don't know. Login with a browser? It's incredible. So the stuff that we fixed actually yesterday was just a little bracket, to add a little bracket, and it took so long. Ja baš sad streamam, evo malo Nix. Ček, sad ću ti javiti kad radim. Danas kasnije radim. 1.45 do 5.30. 1.45 do 5.30. Znaš da ne znam, evo. Baš sam razmišljao o tome, ali još ne znam. What's the one-time code? Okay, logging with a web browser. First, copy your one-time code. Copy this. press enter. Okay. Device activation. Authorize. Okay. 71. Approved. Stavio sam već da se suši. You're all set. So what? Now if I do this again, let's see. Yes. So let's check out this. I'm curious about something. Me being a little spy. Showing 30 of 197 pull requests in NixOS that match your search. So that's not much. Showing 30 review requested. 30 of 197. Mergify. Title. Apply, packaging, REPL. Mergify, Mac, Nix, Windows, Obsidian, ROS, Computer Guy. Ah, interesting. This is a nice command. Q. What is this? 2 months ago. So it has 30 pull requests. Okay. So lukom slaninom. Kak mako? A bolje vrhnje jer će biti full masno. Pa imamo blitve i tog luka. Malo radića ima još od prije, iako je to sve stavljeno. I see. Okay. Now you're all set. Let's look at this docs list tokenization. Let's look at this. Okay. I'll make a new one. Okay, let's look at this issue. So the GitHub issue titled docs list tokenization has a precedence of 1.5. What's 1.5? Was opened by user points out a discrepancy in the Nix language's operator precedence documentation. The documentation states that function application has the second highest precedence, with only attribute selection being higher. The documentation states that function application has the second highest precedence, with only attribute selection being higher. However, Yabeki observed behavior that suggests list tokenization has an intermediate precedence which isn't documented. For instance, defining a function a and then creating a list a10 results in a list containing the function and the number 10 as expected. So when you define a function, some kind of a function, then you create a list a, that function, and number 10 results in a list containing the function and the number 10 as expected. Beans. Mm. Cheap. This suggests that list tokenization has a precedence that isn't clearly documented, leading to unexpected parsing behaviors. And then, contributor non-git commented on April 2, indicating that this issue should be addressed within the language itself. They highlighted that unary minus is handled inconsistently, noting that function application like built-ins also result in errors unless written as built-ins isn't. Yeah, it's just so complicated, even the smallest things. It feels like there's a whole level of discussion. Why? Would it make sense to just the parser? Yeah, can we like... Yeah, but would updating the parser fix these issues? The parser sees -10 as an invalid token in some context, like -10. But or built-ins isint works because parentheses explicitly group the negative number. So we have to add the parentheses. This suggests that unary minus is not treated as a proper prefix operator in the grammar in the same way function application and list construction are. Yeah, but isn't it because there is no space? The Nix parser is written using Bison in parser Y, and operator precedence is defined using left, right, and non-ASOC directives. If unary has lower precedence than list construction, square brackets, then -10 becomes ambiguous or incorrect because the parser expects an expression but sees a minus. It can't resolve properly. The expression A10 inside A10 parses fine because function application is well defined in the grammar. Yes, but it's not just about reordering precedence. It requires properly defining unary minus in the grammar. Currently, unary minus may only be valid when wrapped. Yeah, but why is that a problem? To fix it, the parser needs a dedicated rule for unary minus. So these messages. Okay, what is this? This means the expression rule in the list production must be rich enough to include number or more generally prefix. I don't get it. Updates the lexer to ensure minus is not treated as a binary operator unless contextually correct. -1 to -3 minus. Adding proper grammar. Yeah, but What's the problem actually? Like, when we write -10 like this, then it's no problem, right? The -10 is invalid everywhere. It's not that -10 is valid, it's that -10 is not treated as a valid expression one on its own without parentheses. In the Nix parser, unary minus is not a built-in part of expression parsing, rather it's implemented as a function application. Oh yeah, so when there is space, right, when there is space, minus x, it's actually parsed as sub ox. This means -x is a syntactic sugar, not a core part of the grammar. That's why the parser doesn't know what to do with -10 unless it's wrapped in. It doesn't have a rule like. That would be a standard way of saying x is a valid expression and has a precedence level neg. Wait a second, how does Haskell solve this? How does Haskell solve this? I thought in Haskell you have to write -10, right? So this seemingly weird Nix behavior is actually similar to how Haskell does it. Haskell separates the minus sign from numbers. In Haskell, it's not a literal, it's a prefix operator applied to the number 10. But it's not part of the 10 token. The minus is not bundled in the number like in C or Rust. It means syntax error works fine. Because Haskell parses minus as an operator, not as part of a number literal, the Haskell report explicitly defines prefix negation as a special case of function application. The expression -e is shorthand for negate e. Oh, negate 10, map negate -2, 3. I see. But this does not work. Map illegal. In both Nix and Haskell, -10 needs to be written as -10. Prefix minus is not part of number literals, it's a function application in Nix, in Haskell. So what's the problem? So what's the problem then with Nix? And why is this? And I still don't get it, yeah. Unary minus is not treated as a valid expression unless wrapped in parentheses, and this is not clearly documented or intuitive. So when you write something like this, error, I don't get it. Well, then maybe this was not really a good suggestion. Document the behavior. So how would you document? How would one document the behavior properly then? New subsection, unary minus and negative numbers, propose contact. In Nix, the minus symbol is not part of a number literals. Instead, it is a binary operator used for subtraction and must be applied explicitly as a function when used to denote a negative value. This means that writing a negative number without parentheses is not valid in many contexts, examples that do not work. Error, unexpected minus. Did you mean to write? Oh, could we, if modifying the compiler is an option, improve the error message? Could we add the error parser? Oh, I like this. I like this suggestion. Adding the parser. I like this suggestion, adding the parser hint. Interesting. Nix, yeah, this was implementing error hint, parser error hint. Add a parser error hint. Should we, could we add a parser error hint? Could we add a parser error hint? Yeah, would this hint cover I don't know. Yeah. It really takes time, and they're not, I mean, full-time cat keyboard guardian. Yeah. Let's look also inconsistent handling numbers. Ming W builds are broken. Let's do a little bit of lo-fi. So evaluation currently fails after the update to Nix package is unstable. The Dulstra added bug build problem. Abort 18 hours ago. Error unknown options, store dir. Let's check this out. Trying to build Nix from source, but getting all kinds of errors from Meson. For example, from Meson. I don't know how you pronounce this. Error unknown options, store dir. Give unambiguous installation instructions such as git clone cd nix. Yeah. This is strange, like you have this in Nix reference manual, building Nix from source, right? So blah blah. But how do you build it? then and then it's already, so that's it. Isn't this too short? Okay. Like, how do you build it actually? And there is a user who opened an issue about this. Okay. The current Nix README can be too brief. The user in the issue was confused about how to build Nix outside of Nix packages, and especially how to build it in a normal environment. They expected something like configure, make, install, and Nix being a bit different. It's also digging into this to either build Nix from source or contribute to use a slightly more complete picture how you actually build Nix manually, how to build Nix from source. Clone the repo, cd Nix, install dependencies. You'll need a bunch of typical build tools like autoconf, automake, etc. if you're building outside of Nix on Debian and Ubuntu. And bootstrap the system. Configure. Make, install. But what does that have to do with Meson? Via flakes. That's how I build it, yeah, or using Nix develop. You're probably thinking what the issue is. Why not put a proper build section in the README? Yeah, I mean, how do you build Nix? It's not clear from this page. Way too sparse for newcomers. It basically says just run Nix, build Nix. It does? No, it does not. What do you mean it does not? Understand. How to build Nix from source. Building Nix from source. Nix is built with Meson. The Meson build system. But yeah, I don't also get it, like, what's the difference? Okay. You'll need standard Unix build tools and dev libraries on Debian and Ubuntu. Yeah, but I'm on Nix and I want to try this out. Like, I'm on NixOS and I want to build Nix. But how do I do it so that it's isolated from my system, right? To try to build it from source. Isolated from your system, possibly using flakes, allowing you to hack on the source test changes. Clone the Nix repo. cd Nix. Okay. Use a flake-based dev shell for isolation. Nix develop. Inside the Nix repo, there's already a flake setup. Okay. Inside the Nix repo, there's already a flake setup. Nix develop. This drops into dev shell or build tools library just for building Nix without touching your system-wide Nix. Build Nix inside the dev shell. So you basically, okay. So I go into Nix, right? Like that's Nix. And just Nix develop. Yeah, but why wouldn't they write this? And building Nix from source, this is completely unclear. So what does this refer to then? So if I only have to do nix develop and then the rest, why this paragraph then? The classic auto tools against flake-based Nix native. The manual auto tools based installation path. Bootstrap, make install. Yeah, but I think it's confusing. This is from the manual. I'm not sure what is actually recommended if one can simply enter nix develop. You're reading the official and it says Nix is built with Meson. There's no mention of Nix develop or Nix build. The flake-based workflow is safer. Why is this not mentioned in this section? It assumes manual Meson build. Why? Build Nix manually via Meson. Yes, so what if I'm... How do I build it? On Fedora. On Arch, clone the Nix repo. How do I test this? Do I have to like have a virtual How do I test this? Use a lightweight Docker image. Use Docker to simulate a clean Linux environment without Nix installed. Okay, the Meson, but wait a sec, the next one's from Docker. Look at this. Using Nix within Docker. Docker. So Docker run it army Ubuntu, then inside the container. Will this work? Let's try this. CD, let's exit. Okay. Let's do temp, I don't know. Okay. Docker. The program Docker is not in your path. It's provided by several packages. I'm going to add Docker actually. Yeah, I guess this Docker. drenv. I'll just add it here. So I'm just going to rebuild it now with Docker. Yeah, there's so much. A lot of this work is kind of slow. These tests and everything. So now what's it doing? Okay, let's do it like this. So now it's downloading Docker. So what I want to do, I want to test building Nix from source so that I can error unknown options stored here. How are you building it? Proposal give you not unambiguous installation instructions. CD Nix. Okay, so let's try now. Docker run. Cannot connect to Docker daemon. Oh, it's not running. I wonder if I can start it. Can I just start the Docker daemon? Add or uncomment the Docker service. Make sure to replace your username. Switch. Ah, so it's services Docker enable without sudo. Extra groups. Okay. Where's the extra? Extra groups. Maybe here. Docker. Rebuild switch. But do I just add the Docker? Should I just add the Docker to programs, or should I enable services? Docker enable true. You must enable the Docker service to actually run containers. Set up the Docker daemon. Services Docker enable. Okay. Where am I going to put it? I don't know, here. Services Docker enable. Services Docker does not exist. Wait, really? Services Docker enable true? It says it does not exist. Where did you get this? You need to include the Docker module by installing the Docker package system-wide. Enable Docker system-wide. Virtualization Docker enable true. Then rebuild. So why did you write that then? Virtualization. Let's try like this. Maybe now it will work. Yeah, there's a lot of problems with the documentation. A lot of problems, a lot of explaining to do. Building Nix from source. How do you build Nix from source? Let's check the discourse. Electromagnetic warfare team is hiring. Nix that looks like basil. Building, let's see, building Nix source. Discourse, look at this, building Nix from source and enabling flakes. For various reasons, mostly having to do with being on a Mac, I want to build Nix from source so that I can have an alternate Nix path. I build Nix just fine when it's configured with, yeah, but now we changed to Meson, so this is all old stuff. Flakes are not supported. Okay, how do I build Nix from source? I followed this. Let's see, what did they follow? Installing Nix from source. What is this? 2.24. And this is 2.26. Look at this. Oh, these are two different manuals. Installing source, building source. That's pretty short. I see, so it's, yeah, this is 2.24 manual, right? This is 2.24, 2.24. And this is 2.26. But I get errors. What exactly do I need to install? Arch Linux container. Maybe someone could give me a list of packages. I followed this. What errors did you get? If you have Nix already, I find the hacking chapter pretty easy to follow along. Oh, the hacking chapter, right. Page not found. Wow. Where's hacking Nix? So 2.26, I guess it's... Let's try like this. Where's the hacking chapter? I don't know, how do I look for it? Installing Nix from source. What? Building Nix from source. Is there a difference? The hacking chapter essentially assumes you have Nix installed. If you have fixes for the steps, please open PRs to those instructions. That Nix had to be already be installed. Thank you for telling me that. Not for the source build, only the regular developer guide. As far as I know, those source build instructions are intended for a vanilla system as in the old days. I built Nix from source on Ubuntu using Ubuntu's compilers libraries rather than with pre-built Nix binaries. Required installing a bunch of stuff with apt, and I don't remember the list, but it does work, and I was even able to bootstrap all of NixOS from source using that Nix build. So what did we do? Okay, let's try out again. Docker run. Permission denied. Oh, I didn't actually, wait a second, minimal. Services Docker enable true. Okay, what do I do? What do I do now? So now I have to run install the Docker daemon. Test it. Docker run hello world. Permission denied. Groups. Users will network manager you input. Do you see Docker? The shell still doesn't know. I don't want to reboot. Oh, I have to log out. Oh, why do I have to log out? Can I do it now while I'm at stream? Run Docker with sudo temporarily. Okay, let's do like this. Sudo password. Unable to find image. Okay. So then let's. Okay, sudo docker. Downloading. Okay, it's downloading image. I never work with Docker. Okay, so what? Who am I? Root. Unname. Linux. So what? Now I'm at root. Nix. Command Nix not found. Okay, it works. I'm here. Let's install Nix now. Or better say, let's build it. Clean Ubuntu shell. Build Nix manually, Ubuntu container. Okay. So I just have to do this. Meson Ninja, and then clone the Nix source. I gotta do all of this. Set up the build directory with Meson. Progress. So now it's gonna. Yeah, it's interesting. It seems to me that people, yeah, like he didn't try to use ChatGPT. If he actually came with this thing and just put it in ChatGPT, ChatGPT would write this. But give unambiguous installation instructions. But does this mean... I guess there could be options. At least for Fedora, for Ubuntu, and Arch Linux. Okay. And now clone the Nix source, right? So now we're cloning into Nix, receiving objects. Luckily, this will not take too long. 100%, resolving deltas, root. And now I'm in Nix. Okay, now I'm in Nix. So now set up the build directory with Meson. We'll use a user local path nixtest instead of user local to stay clean. This configures the build so it installs into nixtest. Error options. Store dir. Ah, did he get the same error actually? Error, store dir. Oh. Store dir. Unknown option. Interesting. Let's see what could be the problem of this. The dstore flags you used are from older alternate build systems, but the current Nix uses Meson doesn't expose all those flags directly. Use a minimal working setup for building from source. Meson setup build prefix nixtest. What do you mean? Just this? Well, this also doesn't work. So the version of Meson Ubuntu 2.2 which you're running in the Docker is too old. Why am I not on 2404? Install a new, but why did you recommend me 2204? It's the default tag on Docker Hub. It's the current LTS version. Nix has outpaced Ubuntu 2.2 in some tool requirements. It's interesting. Use Ubuntu 23.10. It's clean. Why not 2404? I don't get it. It's now out. What do you mean it just released? Brand new. It's not brand new, it's 1 year old. It's not brand new. So I have to do it again. Okay. Do I have to clean up something now when I leave the 2204? Yeah, I'm not sure if I have to delete something. Nope, you don't have to clean up. Is that it was ephemeral. It will be automatically cleaned up. The key part is RM. Remove the container when it exits. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, so exit. Okay, so let's do it now again. Docker run 2404. Bam. you didn't offer the army flag. Okay, let's do a quick test now. Sudo. Ooh, 1 hour already, wow. So now we're gonna do the okay, paste again the building instructions for Nix. I'm in the root of the Docker. Okay, let's go update installed. Fine. Clone the Nix source, right. So now it's fetching. Some packages can be upgraded. Yeah, I don't want to upgrade it. So this is gonna take a while. Progress. So again, we're trying to build Nix from source, because this installation part, the manual part, is really not. Nix is built with Meson, It is broken up into multiple Meson packages which are optionally combined in a single project using Meson's subprojects feature. Generic Meson installation instructions like this should work. Oh, they're CD path. What does this even mean? Yeah, this is not so clear. Geographic area. Please select in which you live. Are you kidding me? This is weird. Let's put Vienna. What does it have to do with anything? Let's put, I don't know, Amsterdam. Time zone. So weird. Berlin. Okay, it's not weird. I'm just saying weird. Yeah. Okay, I'm in the root now, and we said this. Okay, this is actually done. Clone the Nix source. So now it's cloning the Nix source. And then we're going to cd into Nix. And then when we cd configure the builds directory using Meson, nixtest, and build it. Really? Dependency liblake not found. So this doesn't work. Let's check this. There's something is missing. liblake. What is liblake? Blake? I have to install this. Okay. Unable to locate. Interesting. From source, we'll clone the official Blake 3 repo. Really, liblake 3. How do I search for how do I search for that package on Ubuntu? Like, let's say maybe it's spelled a bit differently. Yeah, I forgot. How do we search? apt cache search Blake 3. apt search. libtrust. Really? cd temp git clone https. Really? Is this correct? Oh wow. cd Blake 3 c make. Well, make won't work. Well, make won't work here. Because it uses CMake. I have to install CMake. It's incredible. CMake, and then CMake still in CMake build. What is this? Configure the build, CMake build. Install CMake install build. So many. How would I know this without ChatGPT anyway? Would take a lot of time. CMake, this installs header files to your local include, static lib, blah blah, lib blah. Go back to the Nix build. cd Nix. cd Nix rm rf build. Meson setup. Let's try this. Dependency boost not found. Boost C++, install boost. Will it find them? Yeah. 776 megabytes. No, that's the installed. Oh. Why would someone build it from source? Curious. Like this. This is really taking... Maybe it's interesting to build it like that. This will pull boost. Then retry the build. Okay, I'm in Nix, RMRF build. Why this RMRF build? And now Meson setup. Let's try now. Dependency lib archive. Okay, new one. Install lib archive dev. Okay. Yes. Now try again. RMRF build. Meson setup. Let's try it now again. Something missing. Sodium not found. Yeah, sodium not found. New error. Sodium not. Lib sodium dev. Lib sodium. Okay, RMRF build. What's now missing? Something else. Yeah, something else. Horrible. Broadly parts. Let's try again. No, Nolman. Ah, I need this also, yeah. It would take so much time if I didn't have ChatGPT. Now I have to search for all of these. Horrible. All right, let's do again. What's missing now? libgit. Let's do it like this. Okay. libgit 2 dev. Yeah, right. Let's do it again. No, Tom 1. Another one missing. At least it's kind of fun. I don't have to search for things. The final boss. The final boss. For parsing TOML files. And Nix uses it for reading TOML-based configurations. Manual install TOML1 header only. Clone it into a location Meson can find. cd user local include. That gives you which is what Nix expects. Confirmed it's worked. No, it didn't work. Yeah, installed. Oh, I have to do all of this. Okay. Git clone. CD. This is too much work. Okay, another program cannot find. In just missing a build tool, this one is easy. Install flakes. Really? Okay. Now then retry. Okay, now we're gonna retry building Nix, and it will not work. Edit line. The last mini boss now. A green line. Read line, edit line. Interesting. This provides, then try again. Dependency not found. Still says run this inside the container. You'll likely see libedit command line editor library. Yeah. This is the quickest fix. Should work without needing to patch anything. You could patch the Meson build line in NixOS lib Meson build line 42. Really, NixOS Vim Nano. Do I have Nano? Vim? No, I don't have Vim. NixOS Meson build. So we need to find the line 42 that says edit line dep. Maybe let's find it. Edit line. Edit line. Edit line dep. Ah. Wait. Yeah, I'll just do it like this. Horrible. Where? This block dynamically decides which line editing backend to use based on the Meson option readline flavor. Yeah. So the build fails because it defaults to readline flavor edit line, and it tries dependency lib edit line, but neither lib edit line PC nor edit line PC exists. Use readline instead. Installing a new readline dev package. Okay. Let's try like this. Okay, now installed it. And now clean and rerun Meson with the correct option. Flavor readline. Unknown option. No, it says unknown option. This is taking really long. It's just horrible. Readline flavor. Look at this. Readline flavor. Readline. Get option readline flavor. Use readline flavor. Readline to end. So here's that part. I'm still not sure. Go on. I don't have a get option. How do I search NX? Oh, I'm tired now of this, really. Let's look at the entire build. So, project, default, warning level, Meson license, subdir, dependency, lowdown, readline flavor, edit line. So what do I change here? This whole conditional block with this simpler version. but it's this is the whole block. Really? Read line. Let's write it. Read line dependency. Read line. Let's see how it does. Look at this. Read line dependency, read line. Deps private. Plus equal. Read line. Config data, set, use read line. 1 description, use read line instead of edit line, I guess. This even work. Then rerun. Okay. Let's write this. Now we go again cd into Nix. And now we rm rf build and Meson setup build. Meson setup build prefix Nix test. Something will fail. Yes. I don't know what this means. Another error. Now you've officially left the dependency hell and entered Meson scripting quirks. Haha, you're doing amazing. Well, that's nice. So this means you're calling something like fs.name foo, where foo is of type executable, but fs.name expects a string or file path. Why am I supposed to fix this? There's likely a line around line 224 like this. But fs.name wants a file, not an executable object, which is what find program returns. Convert it to a string first. Open Nix source Nix Meson build. We already opened it. Wait a second. Meson build. Go to line 22. There is no line 22. fs.name. There's no fs. Source Nix Meson build. But wait a second, is it? This is just a stub project to include all the other sub projects for development shell purposes. Let's find here fs.name. The fs module was aliased or renamed, or it's part of. Yeah, we could grep it. But this exe is an executable object returned by find program, and fs.name expects a string or file path. Wherever you see, you should change it to. This tells Meson, so fix both of these. Okay. How do I change it? I don't want to find the place, and how do I change it? Open the file in the text editor. Use search to find fs.name. I use vim. 1 hour and 38 minutes. It's too long. So to make the edit using. I have to stop soon. Yeah, I have to stop. So this will be like building Nix from source, I guess, this episode. Go on. Come on. Hello. Vim fs.name fs.name this exe pattern not found. Pattern not found. Pattern not found. Search more broadly for this exe. Okay. This exe. Pattern not found. Pattern not found. Yeah, I'll have to, we'll have to, this is just, yeah. Where's this Twitch? Grab. Yeah, you could look for this like that. I see. Open the file at the first match. Vim. Oh, I could do it like this. Oh, nice. Replace all fs.name with fs.name. This execute quickly and safely inside Vim. Once in the file, run this Vim command. Why would I ever do this? Wow. Wait a second. I don't even see if he did it. 5 substitutions on 5 lines. Really? Then press enter. Then Meson, Ninja. Program curl not found. Okay, let's do it again. Wow. Another probe. There's so many problems. Perl dependencies. Then retry. Incredible. This is taking way too long. This should be the final true boss. No, this one, come on. Something will be a problem. Rapid check. You're still going? You're a monster. Like watching someone complete a dungeon without a map, torch, or healing potions. Respect. Yeah, but at least I have you. Skip tests. Fastest path to next version. Just don't build the tests. Search for lib test and comment it out, delete it. Install rapid check. Can I do all of this? Yeah, this would take me days. Yeah, it's funny, like you have all of these. Yeah. It's just that there should be more about documentation and actually user experience. I guess that's what I'm kind of interested in when I do with Nix stuff. I keep on thinking about this user experience that I don't see so mentioned. Like, yes, the user experience, but it's like kind of advanced, and the user experience of stuff like this, it should be better. There was something red. Gtest not found. No. So these are tests. Okay, let's do it again. But on Ubuntu libg says is header only, so you also need to manually build it. Really? Whoa! It worked? What do I do now? Oh. What do I do now? It seems it worked. You just build Nix from source. If you haven't already, use your freshly built Nix. And then Nix version. Nix version. Nope. I got Nix command not found. You told Meson to install Nix, so let's verify that. Ah, come on. Yeah, no such file. Which Nix? It's okay. What do I have to do now? I have to make lunch now. Yeah, this was now I have to wait. Compiling C++ objects. He didn't do this before. It added a shorter command actually. Yeah. This one, Meson setup build. Retry. Why not retry with this? Ninja C Ninja build. Next version. This one I should, yeah. Next version. Solution. So now it's compiling. This will take a while. Entering directory build. should leave it like this. Something failed. Oh, this is so complicated. Something failed. Yeah, I'll have to stop now. I'll just check. Why did Ninja failed? Error git mempack write thinpack was not declared in this scope, but your installed version of libgit2 doesn't define that function. It's a newer API introduced in libgit, but Ubuntu 24 includes libgit2 1.6, which is too old. You'll probably see version 1.64, 1.72. But I have 1.7. Yeah, we'll have to look at the next stream. I'll have to really look how do you actually build from Meson? This is completely too much work. Yeah, this is too much work. This is way too much work just to build it. Maybe this is normal. Yeah, maybe this is normal, but why is this not? Can you document all the steps and what I installed so that I can write it in a comment? Just write the commands I did to install to build Nix and fail. Can you write it all in a markdown so that I can copy it? Yeah, this is not also actually very helpful now. Yeah, I'll have to look next time. How do you build actually from Meson? This is I want to say I failed as we failed. So write again all the commands inside one markdown block. Yeah. I tried building this but failed. Failed. I tried building this from source, but failed. But failed. I'll search more. Final error. It stopped us. Okay. Okay. This will be it. From this stream. Well, how do we call this stream then? How do we call this stream? I streamed this episode. How do I call it? NixOS Discovery. Building Nix from source. Fail, something like that. Building Nix from source, I failed but learned a lot. Attempted to build Nix from source, failing gracefully. request. Ah, my attempt. No, this is... So I tried to build Nix from source. Yeah, okay. So I tried to build Nix from source. Maybe that one. Twitch. Okay. I'm gonna stop now. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.